This is case number 25CR43265, the State of Ohio versus Christopher Schell. Mr. Schell is before the court with his counsel, Mr. Bogan, Ms. Nicholson. On behalf of the State of Ohio, we're here for sentencing. Ms. Nicholson, of the state.
Your Honor, he was obviously in prison when this offense occurred. He was then released and was back on post-release control. He was in prison at the time for a parole sanction. He was released back out into the community, pretty quickly picked up the charges in Licking County, has since been sentenced in Licking County. The Licking County judge revoked his PRC, imposed 365 days of a judicial sanction on top of a 12-month underlying offense. We believe that a 12-month consecutive sentence is appropriate. In this case, Mr. Schell's institutional conduct is atrocious, to say the least. And this is a pattern of behavior that he exhibits. Clearly nothing has made an impact on him, and so we believe 12 months is appropriate.
All right, anything from probation?
Nothing further, Your Honor.
Mr. Bogan?
Judge, the one thing I will say, there's one thing that has impacted him since he's been locked up. He's gotten back on medication steadily. And I've noticed very significant improvement with him throughout the course of this case. Even just the last few times I've seen him, I would notice significant improvement each time. You obviously know from this case he has a very significant mental health history. He's been diagnosed with just about everything you could imagine: schizophrenia, bipolar, PTSD, you name it. And in my opinion, just based on my experience, Judge, as you know, I deal with mental health patients in probate court as well. It was, from what I observed from the video of this incident, it was very apparent to me that he was having a significant mental health episode during this. That doesn't excuse anything, but it just puts things into context. And his conduct in prison, yes, it is atrocious, but included drug-seeking behavior, which fits with the mental illness, cutting, being caught with a noose, and he also experienced trauma in prison, including being sexually assaulted. That doesn't excuse anything, but what you're looking at is somebody who has had the misfortune of both mental health and trauma issues, and obviously he's learning to deal with them. One of the first important steps is being consistent on his medication. He was resistant to it before. Now he takes it very faithfully, and he does know what he did. He obviously regrets doing what he did, and I would just ask you to take that into consideration.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Schell, is there anything you'd like me to know?
I just want to take blame for what I did, because I know what I did was wrong, but at the same time I was being egged on in the situation. But I'm taking responsibility for what I did. I know it doesn't make it right what I did, but I have been dealing with my issues on my own, and I have been taking my medication like I'm supposed to. And 2 days after that incident with the CO, I did hang myself in the cell, and the CO had to cut me down. So I've been dealing with a lot. When I came back for that violation, I was trying to get back on PC, and they wouldn't let me. And that's what I was struggling with, and that's why I was cutting myself. But I just want to say I apologize, and I'm not going to do it again.
What's your outdate right now?
As of right now, it's 2027, I do believe.
And as we talked in chambers, and you sound like you're well spoken. You sound like you verbalize good intentions and the right things, but that doesn't really match up with what I'm looking at with your record. I mean, you literally have a record that spans over 30 years that you've been stealing from people. I mean, if you want to change, if you want to make a difference, you have to make a choice to do that. There's nothing that prevents you from seeking whatever substance use disorder or mental health issue help that you need. You don't need the court to order that. You can always get that. And there are certainly programs available for you to get employment rather than stealing from people. Okay. Of course, consider the statements made here today, the purposes and principles of sentencing, the relevance, seriousness, and recidivism factors. The court does find that you're not amenable to community control, so the court is going to order you to serve 10 months in prison. Probation would not adequately punish you, and based upon your extensive criminal history, which I just reviewed, goes all the way back to 2008. Actually, before that, if I can include your juvenile record, offenses of violence, thefts, drugs. This is going to be ordered to be served consecutive to your current sentence. The consecutive sentence is necessary to punish you and to protect the public from you. It is not disproportionate to the conduct or danger that you pose to society, and this offense was committed while you were already incarcerated with the Department of Corrections. You have 0 days jail time credit on this 10 months. The court finds that you're indigent for the purpose of any fines, costs, or other financial sanctions. Now, you're also subject to a discretionary post-release control on this offense. When you're released on this charge, the Adult Parole Authority may supervise you for up to 2 years. If you violate that supervision, the Adult Parole Authority can return you to prison for up to 1/2 of the court's original sentence. If your violation is that you commit another felony, you can be returned to prison for 1 year or the period that you have left on PRC, whichever is longer. That time would run consecutive to any additional time that you get sentenced to. You do have a right to appeal the court's decision of your sentence to the 12th District Court of Appeals. If you want to appeal, you must file your notice within 30 days of today's date. If you can't afford to pay for the transcript or anything necessary for your appeal, including an attorney, all of that can be provided to you at no cost. There may be opportunities for you to receive up to 1 day per month for participating in certain education.
The courtroom fell silent as a repeat offender stood before the judge, admitting his mistakes while asking for one more chance. His attorney argued that years of schizophrenia, bipolar disorder, PTSD, and severe trauma, including a suicide attempt and abuse in prison, had shaped the man sitting in court today. He claimed that medication had finally changed his life and that he was ready to take responsibility for his actions. But the judge wasn't convinced. Looking at more than 3 decades of theft, violence, and repeated crimes, the court questioned whether words alone could erase a lifetime of criminal behavior. While acknowledging the defendant's mental health struggles, the judge ruled that public safety had to come first, sentencing him to 10 consecutive months in prison. It was a powerful reminder that remorse can be meaningful, but lasting change requires actions, not just promises.